Today we will discuss that sulfuric acid, that chapter study of compound in that ICSE, that chemistry, class 10 chemistry. So first we have to discuss that contact process, that industrial preparation of sulfuric acid. Now there are four steps. You have to remember that balance chemical equation of this four step. In first step say sulfur combine with oxygen to form that sulfur dioxide. Second step, now that reversible step, that second step, it is a reversible reaction. So in that case, you have to remember that catalyst, that temperature and pressure. Catalyst use vanadium pentoxide, temperature 450 degrees Celsius and pressure 1 to 2 atmospheric pressure. So in second step, what happened? The sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen to form that sulfur trioxide. 2SO2 plus O2, it produces 2SO3, and it is a that principal reaction of that contact process. Third step, sulfur trioxide reacts with sulfuric acid to form that oleum H2S2O7. Now why we not directly that add water to that sulfur trioxide? Now it is a highly exothermic reaction under that high temperature, that sulfuric acid and that SO3, they will form a white dense that fog. From that it is difficult to separate that product sulfuric acid. So that's why we cannot directly dissolve sulfur trioxide in water to form sulfuric acid. So instead of this, first we prepare oleum H2S2O7 by dissolving that sulfur trioxide in sulfuric acid. And last step, oleum when reacts with water, it forms sulfuric acid. Now you have one confusion. We need that sulfuric acid to prepare that sulfuric acid. But see, the sulfuric acid we use in that third step, its concentration is less and it is not in pure form. But the product, that sulfuric acid, that is in fourth step, it is very high concentration and it is also in very pure form. So that is the difference between the sulfuric acid we use in that process and the sulfuric acid we get as a product in that contact process. Next, you have to discuss the characteristics of that sulfuric acid. First, we will discuss as a oxidizing agent. Now, in exam say sometimes that give corresponding reaction which that shows the oxidizing nature of sulfuric acid. This type of question is asked, or some that reaction is given in this following reaction, which property of sulfuric acid is shown, that we have to find. So first we will discuss as a oxidizing agent. Now first we have to why it act as a oxidizing agent. Now sulfuric acid on decomposition, it produces that nascent oxygen. Sulfuric acid on decomposition, water, sulfur dioxide and nascent oxygen. That nascent oxygen helps in that oxidation. So see few examples we have to remember. Now oxidation of carbon. Now carbon when reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, it oxidizes to carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid itself reduced to sulfur dioxide. So balance chemical equation say carbon plus 2H2SO4, it produces carbon dioxide plus 2H2O plus 2SO2. Next, that oxidation of sulfur. Now sulfur when reacts with sulfuric acid, it forms that H2O and that SO2. Next, that concentrated sulfuric acid acts as a dehydrating agent. Now, concentrated sulfuric acid has a strong affinity towards that water. So, it can remove water from that compound. Okay, that's why it acts as a dehydrating agent. For example, see that dehydration of that glucose. C6H12O6, that glucose, when reacts with concentrated that sulfuric acid, that charring takes place. See, it converts into carbon and that 6 water molecule removed. Next, that dehydration of that sugar. Now when we add concentrated sulfuric acid in that sugar crystal, what happened? The formation of that sugar charcoal takes place. That is also called charring. Next, dehydration of copper sulfate. Now hydrated copper sulfate blue in color. If we add concentrated sulfuric acid in that hydrated copper sulfate, what happened? Now concentrated sulfuric acid absorb all that water present in that hydrated copper sulfate and it turn that anhydrous copper sulfate. So during that reaction, color change from blue to white. Next, that non-volatile nature of sulfuric acid. That means say uh, it reacts with the salt of that chlorine to form that hydrochloric acid. It also reacts with that salt of nitrate to form that nitric acid. Now in this case, remember one thing, that temperature is very important. If the reaction takes place below 200 degrees Celsius, then we get that bisalt, that means partial substitution takes place, and if the temperature is above 200, then complete that neutralization takes place, that both the hydrogen of that sulfuric acid get replaced if the temperature is above 200. So remember this. See, NaCl when reacts with that sulfuric acid below 200, it form that sodium bisulfate plus hydrochloric acid. So in this case, sulfuric acid act as a least volatile acid. Now here remember another one thing, say now we can prepare more volatile acid by using that less volatile acid. To prepare a more volatile acid, we have to use less volatile acid. Next is that KCl reacts with that sulfuric acid below 200 degrees Celsius. It forms that potassium bisulfate KHSO4 plus HCl. Now sodium nitrate when reacts with sulfuric acid above 200, in that case we will get Na2SO4, complete substitution. That means complete displacement of hydrogen takes place. And if reacts with KNO3, we will get that K2SO4 plus HNO3. Next, uses of sulfuric acid. Now, due to its wide application, it refers as king of chemicals. The sulfuric acid is also called king of chemicals. Now, it is used in the manufacture of fertilizer like ammonium sulfate, superphosphate. It is an important laboratory agent. It also used as a dehydrating agent as well as oxidizing agent.
Thank you for watching. If you are new in the channel, please subscribe my channel. Please like, share and comment on the videos. Please subscribe my channel to get more chemistry related video.